Release 26 brings one major additional feature in the Smart series. We could say it's SmartDraw. SmartDraw can be accessed through a right mouse click over here. Just like we activate or deactivate the Smart Navi, we can activate, deactivate the SmartDraw. Or if you want to go through the menus, can be activated over here. So what does SmartDraw do? SmartDraw would list you all the drawings you have in your project. There's also a couple of filters to show and hide scale 1:1 or template drawings, hide and show shop drawings or single part drawings, hide and show assemblies, and plain views, e-sheets, GA drawings, detailed drawings, and so on. If I say that, for example, over here, we're going to hide the shop drawings, I see a little plus disappearing. But when I click on it again, we can see here all the various drawings. Towards the bottom, we can unfold this bit and we can see the properties of whatever we're picking in the hierarchy. So whether it is the drawing itself, the view, or the actual components in there. SmartDraw, just like any other function, has of course some settings where we can define how we want to open the drawings. It's a bit similar to when we go in File, Documents, Open. Whenever we're clouding or highlighting anything, we can choose whatever colors and settings we want to have for this and what we want to display in the hierarchy. So whatever we see in the hierarchy when it comes to members, bolts, and welds, what kind of properties, a bit, well, actually very similar to what SmartNavi proposes, where we can then see the properties or define the properties we would like to show. Then there's also open drawings, that's like the one in the file menu, and then delete drawings, again, just like the one in the file menu. Let's go all the way back to the top. Yes, just collapse everything with the little icon over here and collapse the menu again. So what can we do once we are looking at one of the drawings? So when I select a drawing, right mouse click on it, I can open that drawing to view it, to edit it, to print it, do with it whatever I need. Can rename the drawing, can update the drawing, we'll get to that later in this video. We can revise the drawing. This I will keep for a separate video and altogether because revising drawings is quite a large subject. Print the drawing directly from here, close the drawing in case it's open. If I were to activate that now, of course, I'm getting a message that the drawing is already closed. And delete drawing as well. So if I open up a drawing, say for example this one here, and I decide let's do something a bit weird, I would not recommend this on an actual project, but just to show you that it is also possible to directly edit here in the drawing. Of course, it's telling me watch out your connection, that I know. I won't save the drawing in itself. So what do we have? Let's look already in the SmartNavi what has been modified. 2 elements have been affected. And in the drawings over here, if I refresh the SmartDraw, I will get a similar red dot to indicate that an assembly, something in my e-sheet, and some shop drawing has been changed. This means that the content of the drawing is not as per the latest status of the drawing. Whether it is deleted, modified, edited, it doesn't really matter what the reason is. It just tells us with a little dot that the drawing is not up to date. I can also filter on these kind of things. If of course I have a lot of drawings to go through, I can highlight like this all the drawings that are not up to date. If, by the way, I go to this one here, to the settings, I can click this icon to see what is modified in my drawing. So it takes basically the content of the drawing I've highlighted there and highlight to me what has been modified. I can do exactly the same thing for delete it, but I don't have that yet in this case. But it can be useful like this for tracking. Now, what I'm supposed to do, I modified something, so we have to go back to the marking. We'll say, we'll mark the whole job with revision 1. There we go. Let's go back to the full list. And then I'm supposed to, if I want to update this drawing, I can just right click, update drawing. And let's have a look at it. There it is with the cut. So it has been updated. I also see over here revision 1. If I have a look at the e-sheet, it's going to tell me you have 2 modified elements. Do you want to update the drawing? It will be updated. Save that drawing. And then close it. And when I refresh the hierarchy, I will see a little green dot telling me that we have the latest revision. This is just one part of the features. One more thing I would like to show in here though. Let's focus, for example, on this assembly. Where is it? I see that, by the way, I have not updated one drawing yet, but that is for later. So we have this assembly here. And I would like to add a couple of components to it. So let's just use a quick macro. Okay. Put that aside. So what has happened? If I look at the drawing here, the e-sheet, for example, I will notice that in one of the views, there's a lot of content in there. I don't see any changes yet, but if I do the marking, I'll keep revision 1. Of course, the drawing now we see has again a red dot, and it's going to tell me there's a modified element there in red. And then there's 2 new components. The plus would indicate that there has been an addition to that view on that drawing. If it's the minus, something would have been removed. So that just in the hierarchy as well would indicate that something has happened.